Werner, it's great to have you here in our pop-up studio at Stockholm Fintech Week. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having us, Chris.
All right, before we start, Werner, you're very well known in Denmark, but we're here in Sweden. For those who have not had the pleasure of meeting you, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm an entrepreneur. I've been that for 20 years. I've exited 7 companies,
Wow.
and most of them has been within the financial industry. And then I wrote 10 books about startup and how to build teams. So yeah, that's me.
Werner, you're here with Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Tell us, what's the core value proposition of Wolfpack?
Yeah, so the core value proposition of Wolfpack is we are a layer between the bank and the accounting software. So instead of being only in the accounting software, doing some of the financial stuff and some of the financial stuff in the banks, we are the glue between it. So we can do all the documentation in Wolfpack, all the payments, all the bookkeeping, and all the approvals. So we have put everything together, and every time you use your MasterCard, we actually capture that transaction and we can match that up with your ERP system. So one solution in all, but we are not an ERP system, we are not a neobank or challenger bank, we're just the glue between the bank and the ERP system.
And what would you say is the key differentiator between your system and other systems that do similar things in the market?
So the difference with Wolfpack is that we have put it all together in one system. So instead of being in your accounting software, in your bank, and in your approval flow in another system, we have it all together. So you get the entire overview of your financials in Wolfpack.
Right. Okay. So that sounds like a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, it is.
And tell me, how do you collaborate with other companies that provide part of the value chain in the accounting space, like the ERPs? How does that work?
Yeah, good question. So we have integrations to the ERP systems, so we can pull out all the data, and we have the direct integration to the different banks in the Nordics. So it's one stop for those who want to pay and approve and get all their bills registered, and that's kind of the idea behind Wolfpack.
Right. Okay. Now the question that comes to my mind is: you're a 7-time founder. You've made the seven exits. You've written books. Why did you choose to focus on this specific problem this time around?
I love that question because it's a necessity for all companies to have a really good approval flow and to know where the expenses go, and to know when the income is hitting your account. So to match all that gives you a much better understanding of how your company is doing. And many people think that liquidity is the most important part of running a business, but it's stability that is the most important part. And we can give that because we can look into the future instead of looking in the rearview mirror, looking at the historical data from the ERP system. So it's much more agile for a company while you're running it.
Right, and as a serial entrepreneur, was this a particular pain point that you experienced in your previous companies?
Yeah, definitely. So you actually being in an ERP system is for bookkeepers, not for you and me. And that means it's not a place to be, and it's too complicated, and you need to know lots of the rules that are connected into the ERP system. But with Wolfpack, you don't have to understand all the rules. It's a layer beneath what you need to understand. So you have the app and you can register your bills and you can pay whatever you want to pay, and you get this seamlessly approval flow, which is a part of the solution.
So just making things extremely simple.
Extremely simple and healthy for your company to use it.
Wonderful. Yeah. Now, Werner, we're here on day 2 at Stockholm Fintech Week.
Yeah.
What's been your key takeaway so far?
Yeah, so the key takeaways has actually been all the connectivity between the companies in the ecosystem. So normally when I get to a conference, it's talking to the business owners, but here it has been much more with the partnerships. So I got into contact with people that I didn't know or companies that I didn't know that has the benefit of the integration part in Wolfpack and for them as well. So it has been a very given for both the people that I've met and for us.
Right. Well, Werner, thank you so much for being here. It's really been great, the energy that you and your team have brought to the event. We saw you on stage yesterday, so it's really been a pleasure having you with us.
Yeah, see you next year, Chris.
Hopefully, that's great. Thank you.
Of course, thank you.